Hi, it's day 22 of my 90-day video challenge. And today I just wanted to talk a little bit more about a couple of different topics I've talked about the past couple weeks. One being my idea of trying to see how many people you could smile at and connect with during a day. And the other being that we create change from inward out, not outward in. And, the whole idea of be the change you want to see in this world. And on such a bleak week with unfortunate events. I don't even know if that's the right word to use, but I mean, we all know, like with Vegas, and it brings into a lot of discussion of politics and humanity and gun control and all of that. But I really truly believe that change really does come from within, and we all have the ability to create our experiences every day. And since our experiences respond to what we're creating and what we're doing and who we're being, then that's an inward out change. And as I mentioned on my walk, I realized how easy it is to get wrapped up into my own world and not be paying attention to what's going on around me. It's not intentional. I'm not purposely being a certain way to people, but if I'm not being aware, if I'm not being present, and I'm only focused on what I'm going through or what I'm listening to or what I'm doing, and I'm not connecting with the world outside of me, it can be very easy to miss opportunities to connect with people when they really could use it, when they could use a simple smile or someone to say, how are you? And that got me thinking too. It's like, how often do you say, how's your day going? Or how are you? And do you really mean it? Like legitimately really mean it? It's such a habitual thing you say. Somebody says, you say, hey, how are you? How are you? Like, and everyone says, good, off you go, done. Sometimes someone might throw out there a fine or, oh, not so great. But it usually often doesn't extend beyond that, even with your friends and family. Like, it's just sort of like habit, just like opening the door for someone and holding the door. And it's, I don't mean that in a bad way. I'm not judging and I'm talking about myself too. It's just when you really sit and think about it, how often do you really want the answer on the other side? And it's just a question. It's just something to ponder and think about, because if it's about who we're being in this world. And, as a coach, one of the biggest reasons I coach is that I feel I want everyone to, I firmly believe that if everyone really truly valued themselves and felt heard, that would create change in this world. And that is one of my big reasons for coaching, is helping people feel heard, helping people create the impossible, and be who they really are, feel valued. And one of the ways you can help somebody to feel valued is to help them feel heard. Like, create the space, hold that space for somebody to truly be heard. So a simple example can be like when you ask, how was your day? Like, hold that space open for them to really answer that, to truly answer that, not just the one word or the I'm fine and move on to the next topic. And on the flip side, if someone asks how you're doing, be honest. So many times we just brush that off, right? We're like, oh yeah. Like, whether we're answering out of habit, or you don't really want to get into anything, or you don't want to burden somebody, or you don't want to, it might feel embarrassing, or you might even be judging yourself for how you're feeling, or you don't even think to actually share. And in connecting and being and kindness, those are a lot of like random thoughts put together, but just in being the change we want to see in this world and holding space for others and feeling valued and connecting with people, then along with that comes being honest and genuine and authentic. And tell somebody how you're doing. Start to create those connections, because that's creating the space for people to feel valued and feel heard. Because when they feel heard, it will contribute to them feeling valued. I guarantee it, when someone feels like a person has heard them. And it can start with the smile, like I was talking about. Like, that's just a way to start creating that connection of just smiling at and making eye contact with people. I feel this is so important to talk about because I mean, I know I'm not even like really firm. It's like, I don't know that this is the answer. I strongly believe it. I strongly believe that this has a large part to do with divisiveness and isolation and feeling lonely. And I feel like human connection is so important. And it comes up for me a lot because I work from home, and I didn't even realize how easy it is to get sucked into my own thing. And I can go days without talking to anybody but just my husband and my daughter. And while they're awesome, I mean, that's not a lot of connection to the world. And you know, I mean, I have my clients and I have people I talk to, but if I'm not going out there, I mean, it just can be so easy to just kind of like be at home all the time. It's so different than going to work and like actually connecting with people. And then last night, my daughter and I went to a concert. It was a Young Giant concert in Irvine, and it's their hometown band. Irvine is where they're from. So it was already a really cool crowd. They were very supportive and very into it. And most concert crowds that I've ever been to have been amazing, you know. But this was a really cool event, and there was a lot of dancing, and people were really just a lot of really cool people. And at one point, the main singer, the main guy, Samir, he stopped to comment on Vegas and to comment on humanity. And he did make a really good point about that we don't often share how we really are doing. We don't really ever get into that. And it's important to. We should be sharing how we're really feeling. We should feel heard. We should be creating a space for other people to feel heard. And you know, even in that moment, he had everybody turn to everybody and introduce themselves and say hi. And it was a simple thing, but it was a cool thing. And it was just a reminder of like, it's exactly what I've been trying to do all week, is make a connection with people, even if it's just a simple smile and eye contact, and how that can continue to create change. And I know from my own experience that contributed to my happiness this week. I was happier, even for the few people who didn't look back or smile back. It wasn't that many, it was just a couple. And I felt better having made connections with people, and they were small connections, but they're the start of something. And I want to continue to create space for others to feel heard, and I want people to know that they can connect with me as well. And I just think that, like, how cool would it be if everyone's goal every day was to create that space for somebody else to feel heard? And if everyone, and then consequently, they also got to feel heard by somebody else. And if everyone's being honest and authentic, and we're really experiencing this life together and not alone and not isolated and holed up in our bedroom like I do sometimes, you know, when you're experiencing life together, we can get through shit. Like, we can. Like, I'm sorry for swearing, but like, shit is going to happen. It is going to happen. And the way we're going to get through it all is together, and it is through connecting with each other. We all need each other, and it can just be so easy to just get wrapped up in our own worlds and kind of forget about everyone else or just our close immediate family. And these are just some small, simple ideas, some simple steps to start working with. I'm really just kind of like off the cuff tonight, just thinking about it. I don't have all the answers by any means. It's just what I'm trying to do. This is how I'm trying to create change. This is who I want to be. And you know, it's inward out. I'm going to be the person that I want to see in the world. And I look forward to everyone I'm going to be meeting, and I look forward to the conversations I'm going to be having with people. And I look forward to, you know, this is a weekend, and we all go out on the weekends, or we try to. I mean, I think most people try to go out and do something fun on the weekend. So make that a great opportunity to connect with somebody new and smile at them. And if you can, start a conversation with them and just have a moment in time with somebody else to remind everyone that we are not in this alone. We are in this together, and through it, like, we can just continue to create an amazing world. All right. Talk to you tomorrow. Bye.